online, on DAB+, and on the Talk Radio app. Evenings with Kevin O'Sullivan on Talk Radio.
Now, I was on holiday for a couple of weeks, which made me unable to watch Love Island, so it's absolutely ruined my vacation, as you'd imagine. But it turns out that I wasn't the only one not watching it this year. It seems that we may be falling out of love with Love Island. We may be breaking up with Love Island. So because ratings are badly down on last year. So what is going wrong with this formerly much loved series? Back on the screen, obviously, after 2 years, because last year it was off because of the COVID crisis and lockdown and all that. So let's ask Talk Radio's very own Josh Rom what's gone wrong. What's gone wrong, Josh?
I think it's the typical reality fatigue that we've seen with Big Brother. The series peaked as a format. There was a couple of series. I think the peak of it was 2019, where viewing figures were at an all-time high. And so because there have been so much resources put into it, so much marketing put into it, it's become kind of overkill. And also in terms of actual television that's being produced, the format has become so formulaic. It's been so overproduced now. You can see it on screen. And so because of that, there's a lack of spontaneity. And I think that's why viewers are switching off, because it's kind of this combined element of a tired format now. We're into its seventh season. And, formats like that get old. It's becoming more generic. Plus, there's kind of oversaturation within the market.
Also, do you think that the bookers spend too much time looking at pelvic muscles and things like that, and pecs and physiques, both of the females and the males, and not enough time thinking about their personalities? Because the little bits I've seen of it, these people are just personality free. They're unable to conduct a conversation.
Yeah, unable to string a sentence together.
And only interested in themselves. So you've got no interesting interaction. There's a problem there, isn't there?
I think there's a couple of elements here. Ever since the Jeremy Kyle situation on ITV, there's been a real spotlight on casting. There have been extra kind of scrutiny tests in terms of background checks and psychology tests, pre-programming, and sources within production have exclusively told me that, now some of these big personalities that we've previously seen on the show before, such as Olivia Attwood, not sure how many viewers will know Olivia Attwood, but still kind of big personalities like that, we're kind of unsure if they would kind of make it onto the program these days due to the psychology and medical tests. So I think there is a combined element of that. But that's the thing, it's now become a total kind of beauty pageant, except without any sort of talent portion of the competition. So bearing in mind, it's kind of now a boot camp for wannabe influencers now.
Yeah. That's a good phrase. That's exactly what it is. So what can be done to retrieve this alarming situation?
Well, I wouldn't call it alarming.
Yeah, because who cares?
Who cares? I mean, viewing figures are down. I mean, if we look at the viewing figures as well, there has been a downward trend in terms of Love Island watching the programme since 2019. 2019 was at its peak. Viewing figures now are in retreat. And I think, as was the case in Big Brother, nothing can really save it. Once a reality show's going down that way, I don't think there is much you can do to stop it. Saying that, obviously there are odd good seasons. You need to get more better people more interesting people in that can actually hold conversations, that can string sentences together. You need to get people like that in that can do that. I think as well, there are other shows out there these days, like for example Netflix, Too Hot to Handle. I know in terms of The Circle, that's
better,
really gained.
It's better.
Exactly, it's better. The Circle's starting to gain momentum. I know there's going to might be a new deal signed with Netflix in terms of The Circle UK going onto that platform. Streaming services are adding different sort of shows out there that are saturating the market, combined with this fact that the papers and all kind of television resources are being pushed towards it. It's becoming overkill. And the format, it's becoming old compared to these newer, more exciting formats to watch.
Yeah. Don't forget that the last time the series was on was in 2019. So that was...
Well, there was the winter one of 2020 as well.
Yeah, but that was
that in South Africa.
That's a mistake as well.
Yes.
But if I was an ITV executive, I would be on the backsides of the Love Island team, particularly the booking team, and saying, what have you done? Because you are talking 2019, a top-rated blockbuster success, followed by basically a flop. What have they done?
Well, what I do know with the booking team, I know also how it works because I have sources within all sorts of departments.
Because you're always trying to get on the show, right?
Like
you're always phoning them up.
With this body, absolutely no chance of getting on the show. No chance.
Rubbish, Josh. You're
Kevin,
a natural, mate.
I'm not that desperate. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm an established journalist here. I'm not going to ruin that. No, I think the thing is, the bookers do find interesting people, but then for some reason the execs overrule the chats. So that's what I think is a real problem. Is I think it comes from the top, and then also kind of these stringent testing that goes on behind the scenes. I think that's where it lies with the booking team and the booking problems when it comes to that show. But I think it's the other formats as well. The Too Hot to Handle, the Too Hot to Handles, the Circles, all these emerging other formats. Maybe
the New Kids on the Block.
The new kids on the block, the more exciting kids on the block,
exciting,
like Too Hot to Handle. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it was a fascinating watch this season.
It's glamorous and exciting. And by the way, can I just say...
And it had characters from all over the globe in it as well.
Also, Too Hot to Handle has got much better looking contestants. They're not even that great looking, this lot in Love Island, are they?
I mean, the thing is...
Come on. We're talking 6 and 7 out of 10 at best.
I mean, Love Island, I think, as
in
a
the past, they've been 8s and 9s. This year, they're 6s and 7s, and I'm being generous.
I would agree with that, especially with these new Casa Amor bombshells that are coming in this week. However, what I do think as well, it's just... Too Hot to Handle has contestants from all over the globe. You have Americans, you have Europeans, you have English. Therefore, this creates this kind of melting pot and this kind of pot full of interesting characters from all over the place. Now you have these kind of wannabe people from Newcastle, desperate for 5 minutes of fame, desperate for the 100,000 influencer jobs. Like the boohoo deals are screaming at us. Do you know what I mean?
It's lost its innocence.
It's lost its innocence. You can totally tell. You can see through every single contestant that they're going in to get famous or to get money from it. They're not actually looking for love. As stuff with these other formats, they actually have kind of the people going on it, because it's not a well-established format, they're actually going in with better intentions. But that's the thing with reality TV. Once a show gets popular, you then get an influx of applications coming in from people with the wrong intentions, and that's what saturates a program for this decline in quality.
Totally agree. We've seen it before. You're quite right to cite Big Brother. It's what happened there. Every day in every way, as that program progressed, the contestants and the production got less innocent and therefore less entertaining. Not that anyone cares, but who do you think will win?
I don't know. I'm being honest. I haven't been watching it because it is as dull as dishwater. I try and put it on. I fall asleep.
Will it be Chardonnay or Clancy?
Maybe Jake or Liberty. Yes. Maybe something along those lines.
From Liberty
or Kaz or something along those lines.
Liberty's a shop. Josh, fantastic stuff, mate. Thanks for coming in. He's been live in the studio, by the way. Josh Rom from Talk Radio. I'm Kevin O'Sullivan, also from Talk Radio.